Hello again, my friends. Ron here from IT Tidbits. Thanks for joining me for this third session on PowerShell. Today's session, we're going to start talking about how to use the help system. PowerShell is one of the first products where they didn't include help in the system. And that was because they knew help changes. We write new features, we write new functions, we fix bugs, and therefore help is alive and breathing and needs to be updated regularly. So the first thing you may notice when you try to get help is that you don't get a lot of information. Nothing there, right? It says get help cannot find the help files for this commandlet. That's because they want you to download it the first time you run it. So the first thing you want to do when you use PowerShell is launch the PowerShell as admin, as you can see I've done up here. And then you just want to type update help. And this will go out to the internet and start downloading help files. You'll see them flashing by. This will take a while, so we'll let this run and come back in a minute. Sometimes you'll get errors saying it failed to update modules. When it fails to update these modules, it usually means you're using a non-Microsoft module or you've got a bad link, and I'll show you how to fix these later on. I suggest you get in the habit of running update help every now and then, especially if you upgrade your Windows, add new modules. You can also save these help files if you have a computer you're using that's offline. Say there's factory machines that don't have internet access. You can save that help to a local file or a thumb drive and then use that to upgrade machines that can't get to the internet on their own. So if we just type save help and we give it a destination path, we've already created a folder here called help file. And it'll take a few seconds to download this help. Once those files finish downloading, we can look in the folder here. You can see here are all the files downloaded and formatting. They're cab files, but I can use this to import them. So let me show you how we would go about that. Browse to the folder that those help files are stored in. Now by default, they go to C Windows System 32, Windows PowerShell, v1.0 ENUS, English US folder. So if you drill to that folder, you'll see by default on my VM, I've only got these 5 files. That's all that comes with the Windows help. But now we can go to that virtual machine. Just to show there are no help files, we'll do get help, get content again. And there you see it says it can't find the files. So normally I would just type update help and I would go straight to the internet. But if we add a source command, now I should be able to pull those files right from my other computer. And there we go. That's a nice feature. You can throw them on a thumb drive if you don't want to sit and pull them from the internet, walk around, drop in the file, and upgrade the stuff. Or you can put it on a local server like I did here, a centric place, and pull them all down from there. Nice, handy feature. And you can see now we have a bunch of text files in there that weren't there before. This is the format for the help. You can open up these files and see how they're formatted if you want to write your own help. I switched over to the PowerShell command window environment to show you the similarities. There are 3 ways to access help. We can do get help, which is the commandlet. We can do help. Now help is a function that calls get help, but it puts the output in a paginated format. So you can see we have the more at the bottom here. And the third way is man. Now man does the same thing as help. It's just if you're used to using Linux, man is what you would be used to running. Man short for manual. We can do man, get service, and you can see it gives us the more. So this is nice if you want to page through the screen instead of having to scroll back up. Using help or man will do that for you. And by the way, if you want to get out of this, if you don't have to keep hitting more till you get to the end, you can just hit Control-C and break out of it. And that will get you out of those. So remember that get help is the commandlet. Help is a function using the commandlet that puts the stuff into paginated. And man is an alias, which you can see here, pointing it to help, that function. Okay, let's wrap this up with the scripting. In the beginning, I showed you how to update help, and sometimes it would give you errors. Here we have the example of the errors. It failed to update these modules. So I've got a few different options here you can try. The first one is update help -force. Now that's up here. You just put the -4 switch on the end and run it. Sometimes that'll force it to update files that might be stuck open or in use. In this case though, you can see I ran it already. It didn't really do anything, but that's one option. Your second option is to have it skip the errors. This script will do that. So basically we do the update help with a force, and then we do the -EA, which is error action 0, which says continue, and error action variable is what. And so we're just going to dump those errors into a variable named what, and then at the end of this we'll dump that what variable out and show the exceptions. So you can try to run this and we'll kick it off and see what it does as well. Sometimes help will just stop. It runs through the thing and it doesn't update. You'll see that even though it ran, it missed some modules, it stopped updating. I haven't seen that recently. It happened in older versions, but this -EA will force it to go on and update. So we'll let this run through and see what we get. Okay, you can see here that it finished and then it shows us the exceptions at the end. It's the same errors, but this way it didn't stop while it was running the process of updating help. It updated all the help files it could, and then it dumped the exceptions at the end. So this is another option you have. This third option basically just lists the help info websites. Each module in its file, in its help file text, lists an HTTPS site it goes to. And so this is a way if you want to see what URIs it's using, you can run this get module with a list available, so it shows the modules, but then it says where the module has a help website. Of course, the opposite of that would you could run where it didn't have a help in sight. But let's just kick this off so you can see. And so here's the list of all the modules that have a web page attached to them or have help available online. This tells us these modules should be able to be updated online. Of course, there's Defender right there in the list, and it didn't update, so there's something else going on. So that takes us to the fourth one. Now this one will actually try to test the URIs to see if they work. I thought this might be a way to go. It shows you a few different pieces. So I set web pages equal to the list of modules where there's a help URI that has HTTPS in the name. I have it give me a count of those sites, and then I have it do a for each loop where it loops through the web pages and tries to do a web request, a PowerShell web reach out and see if that web page is there. So while this doesn't work exactly as I expected, I'll show you what it does do. So it gives us the 71 help files, but then it starts erroring out. So there's something about these HTTPS requests where they're not actually true web pages, at least the way I've got this written, because they're coming back saying that server's not found or it's not there. Right here, the resource you're looking for might have been moved, its name changed, or is temporarily unavailable. So I'm getting a server error there. So could be the way I wrote this. I didn't really put a lot of time troubleshooting. I just wanted to show you that there are things you can do with those help links, right? I got a count, so I know all 71 actually fail when I run this script, so it's not really helping me, but it is a neat little function where I can find something in a text file and then test against it using the invoke web request. Finally, here's a script that just runs and lists the scripts that have help available and tells us a little bit of information about them. So that's a real fast script, but the cool thing about this one is it says here are the modules that can be updated. So again, Defender should be there, but it also tells me that that's an English language, because sometimes you'll see your update help will fail on the language, the culture they call it. And here you see that all these are English culture. It'll also tell you the version of the module that that's from. All right, so I hope this has been helpful to you. I threw 5 little scriptets in here. Let's go through them again real quick. There's update help with the force command where it catches the exceptions and lists them later, so it will continue. Get the list of modules and show me the help links that are in them. Here's the one that will take those links and test against them. And finally, just list the ones that have help and show me the name, language version, and the version of the module. See you next time when we do session 2 of using the help. Until then, thanks and have a good day.